Buddy.
Yep.
Yeah, he cool dude though.
Yeah.
Okay. This your first time hearing this album?
Nah, I heard it like years ago. I never bought none of his albums though, and they hard to find now.
Yeah, man. I know. I got the first one. I just don't got this one.
Right.
Let me use that one.
Yeah.
All right, I'm back.
Yep.
What up, everybody in the chat? Got some good content coming up this week.
Yeah.
Soundtrack month starts this week too. I can't wait. What's up, Antoine? How you doing, boss?
It's good.
Hmm. So this Irv Gotti and Fat Joe beef is still happening and shit.
And I saw Fat Joe and Mayor recently did an interview with Rap Radar. He didn't mention Gotti. So I'm like, what's the issue with Gotti and Fat Joe?
Cause I think Fat Joe said some shit like how Irv shouldn't be disrespecting Ashanti or some shit like that.
So what part of that is he wrong about? I agree. He's still in love with her.
Yeah,
Like you're still talking about Ashanti after all these years?
niggas.
He was a terrible executive. You know what I'm saying? He only brought out two artists on the roster.
He's a clown. I can't believe it's about to be the end of the year soon.
Yeah, soon. About we got 4 more months.
You said
September
what?
start on Friday. So
I know. My favorite season is about to start. They added a lot of good movies on streaming service. I might have me a movie night tonight. Hold up.
Shit, I ain't see a lot of good movies this year. I'm definitely disappointed, especially the summer ones.
Oh, I was talking about old movies.
Old movies. Oh, I was watching
Yeah,
some old Alfred. You into Alfred Hitchcock?
I love Alfred Hitchcock.
Yeah, I was watching like a whole week of that his films last week. Dial M for Murder, Rear Window,
Ooh,
um, To Catch a Thief. What's the other one? Vertigo, classics.
you seen Psycho?
Psycho, of course. Yeah, the black and white version, the black and white one.
That's the only
I,
version you
I
have to
didn't
see.
care. I didn't care for the reboot with Anne Hesh.
Me neither. It was trash.
Yeah, the birds. The birds is that was my first one I saw like when I was real young. I was real little and I watched that one.
Hey, I got a random question.
Hmm.
So I have a Nintendo 64. I just got a new TV. I'm trying to make
Uh,
some room for it. Is it safe to put a Nintendo 64 on top of a PS4 or some shit?
yeah, you could do that. Just I mean,
Oh,
is there any like like holes on top of the console?
no holes.
Oh, yeah, you could do that.
Okay, then when I'm about to play, I'm just gonna move it. Okay, appreciate it.
Which one is heavier? I would think this the PS4, right?
Yeah, the PS4 is pretty heavy.
Yeah,
Trying to make my shit look organized and shit. You know what I'm
right.
saying? Okay, I'm gonna start this shit in about 5 minutes. Yeah, man. Shout out to Kaya, by the way.
She didn't even come on. I thought she didn't join us. She didn't even come on camera with us. Is it the
I
same
know
Kaya
she
that,
just.
that be in the chat room?
Yeah. I just needed to do the review because I was
Right,
already out and I
right,
want to do the review at her spot and stuff like that because I was going to check in on her too.
right.
But she gave her love and everything.
That's what's up.
Q said, "What do you think about Warren G's I Want It All album for 1999?" That's my favorite Warren G album.
Great album. A better album than the second one.
I agree. Antoine said, "I just got done listening to Nonfiction's The Future Is Now." Ooh, I haven't heard that
Classic,
album in a minute.
classic album.
Yeah, niggas don't know about that album.
Definitely, yo. So many great producers are part of that album.
I agree. Tragedy
That's
is
the album we have to talk about. We ain't do no nonfiction yet.
yeah, that's definitely on the way. There's like certain albums I want to talk about, but I want to
Right.
actually have physically.
Yeah,
You
I
know what I'm
know.
saying?
Said they out of print.
Yeah. Like one album I want to talk about for years is Cannibal
Uh,
Ox's The Cold Vein album.
oh yeah, that's a good one. Definitely, that's a good one.
Tragedy is an underrated MC from Queensbridge, aka Intelligent Hoodlum. His albums from the early '90s are hard to find. Yeah,
Yeah.
I need to get. I have his first album, but the second one, I agree.
Facts. Yep. Definitely.
And people forget Tragedy. I mean, it's Tragedy didn't like the moniker Intelligent Hoodlum because originally, the power to be at Cold Chill and Time Warner, they felt like Tragedy Gaddafi was not marketable.
Right.
So
What
they
was
say
he?
Intelligent Hoodlum. I
What's
mean, he had a very, very, very underground political sound. So I feel
Mm.
like if he was on a label like Def Jam, especially with Public Enemy or hell
Yeah.
even Tommy Boy, they might have known what to do, how to market him much better. But Cold Chillin' and everything
Mm.
like that, I don't know. Nothing against them because I feel like the first album still did moderately successful, but still.
Right.
I'm ready to start whenever you are. What's up, you too? How's everyone doing this lovely, lovely, lovely day? We're back at you again. We're going to talk about Intelligent Hoodlum Strategy, Saga for Hoodlum. This your boy Reg in the building. Got my homeboy Try with me.
Yo.
Yeah, we're going to talk about Intelligent Hoodlum, Saga for Hoodlum. The second album from him and the last album under intelligent the Intelligent Hoodlum moniker. This album only came out with three singles: The Posse Shoot 'Em Up, Grand Groove, and Street Life. It was released on Tough Break under A&M under Polygram Records. So yeah, this was produced by K Def, Marty Mall, Cool T, Epitone Scratch, and Mr. Freak Nasty. It had guest appearances like Track Low, Havoc, yes, that same Havoc from Mobb Deep, and Big Scram. All right, so were you with me when I did a review on his first album,
Which one? Which one? Yeah.
Intelligent Hoodlum? I think I
Can't
did that
remember.
solo.
What year was that you did it?
That was like year, maybe like
Yeah.
2017, 2018.
Yeah. So I wasn't a podcaster yet till like 2018. So
All right,
you know
well,
what I
you can
mean.
give your thoughts on how you got into
I
tragedy.
mean, I got into him. I think it was with Grand Group. Like I remember when he first came out, but I didn't check for that first album. And then when the Posse joint came out, because that was from the movie with Mario Van Peebles and Kane. Kane was in Big Daddy Kane was in that. I
Mm-hmm.
didn't like then I like the movie. But I remember the song, the video, and I used to see that video like a lot on Rap City and stuff. So that was like one of my first songs, like listening to him. And then when Grand Groove came out, the remix for that, and that really put him on the map. Like that was everywhere. You know what I'm saying? And you know, he was very instrumental in the War Report for CNN. You know, definitely. I feel like he revitalized his career with that album, and then changing his name to Tragedy Gaddafi, and coming out with the Still Reporting album, and Thug, was it Thug Matrix or something like that he came out with?
Yeah,
And he's been dope. He's definitely been underrated. He probably like the most, him and Cormega, I would say, is like the most underrated from Queens, from that, from Queensbridge and shit. You know what I'm saying? And you know, he don't get enough recognition, but I remember when War Report came out, and they were playing the Stay Tuned interlude, and he killed that joint. And you know Hot 97 was playing like a lot of his joints when Still Reporting came out.
right.
And even now he's still doing this thing. I saw think it was the Molly Mall. It was something with was it what did he have an unsung or something? I saw something with him.
No, he
It
didn't
was
have an
like
unsung.
hmm?
I don't think he had an unsung.
It was something I saw with him, like a documentary or something, and he was talking about when it might have been the Molly Mall one when he started in Queensbridge with Molly. And I'm trying to remember what the hell it was. It was some documentary. If it wasn't the Molly Mall Unsung, it was something else I was watching. And Tragedy told the story of how he started, and when him and Molly hooked up and all that, and it was dope. It was dope. It was definitely great. Why is people calling me and I'm on live stream? I don't understand. And it was great to see him tell his story for like his beginnings and he got into some trouble and then he bounced back from that and you know like I said, he just been underrated. Definitely had like dope lyrics and he was like socially conscious, but it was like I feel like that's not talked about enough though. I mean, because of his association with CNN, I don't know if people look at him like he's just like a thugged out rapper or something, but he definitely he, he didn't have he definitely wasn't rapping about the same shit Nori was rapping. You know what I'm saying? So he's more than just a thugged out rapper or whatever.
Right.
And yeah, he's dope.
Yeah, I definitely feel like he's a very, very, very underrated rapper in my opinion. I've always fucked with him, but I'm lyrically, I feel like the Intelligent Hoodlum era. I definitely feel like those albums was just on some other stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Um, I've always said he was like the blueprint for a lot of these QB rappers. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Like Nas, and of course his association with Capone and Noriega. You
yeah,
know what I'm saying? He definitely had that socially conscious tip. But then once like he went under the tragic Gaddafi name, he started talking about really some street shit. You know what I'm saying? So,
mm,
which he was talking about even on the first two albums, but it was like more with an edge. If that makes sense. You know what I'm saying? So,
right,
yeah, man, his first album to me, that's a very underrated classic album in my opinion. So,
right.
yeah, man, definitely. If you guys have not seen that review, make sure you guys check it out. Um, so yeah, after the release of that first album, this album was supposed to have came out in 1992, but under a different name called Black Rage. But see, the thing about that was the fact that the LA, the LA riots was happening, especially with Rodney King, and the term Black Rage was like very significant. They didn't want to like add fuel to the fire when it comes to these LA riots and everything like that too. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So they had to pretty much make the album like Saga of Hoodlum, and there was like a lot more songs that was supposed to have been on the album, like the Black Rage album and stuff like that too. You know what I'm saying? But certain songs, of course, got scrapped. I know that they actually some UK label dropped like a vinyl of demos that was supposed to have been on the Black Rage album, and then
Right.
you also had like some alternative mixes, like from songs on this album. Like if you guys remember when I showed that Sly and the Family Stone Fresh, like the alternate version of Fresh I have, it's something in that kind of wavelength, but this one they added like some extra demos and everything like that too. What's up, John? How you doing?
John, what's good?
Um, Stay tuned for the Dub C review. John recommended. That's gonna be Labor Day next week, so definitely can't wait to talk about that. And of course, John, you're of course invited. But yeah, man. So and of course, this album you probably has a very computerized situation. When you posted the album on your Instagram, that was the first time I actually seen your OG copy, the OG version without like the whole effects and everything like that. You know what I'm saying? So
But it says
that's
it says the 20th anniversary issues edition.
oh yeah, that they did re-release the album. Okay,
Yeah. I like
yeah,
that
man.
album cover better.
Same,
The cartoon one, yeah.
definitely. Now the biggest difference between the first album and this album was the fact that Large Professor is not on the album and stuff like that too. And even though this album is pretty much credited as Marley Marl did all the production, you know what I'm saying? And yes, Marley Marl did a good amount of the production. There was like still a handful of songs that Large Professor did for that record, that self-titled album and stuff. You can tell the more like melodic, the more melodic kind of songs were the ones Large P did, but the more faster paced songs were the ones that Marley Marl did, if that makes sense. You know what I'm saying? Like I know for a fact Marley did Arrest the President, and I want to say Large Professor did the self-titled joint, the Intelligent Hoodlum joint. I want to say, but again, I could be wrong. Large Professor, he got shafted a lot of production credits. Like Eric B and Rakim, Let the Rhythm Hit Him is a
Mm-hmm.
perfect example.
Right.
He did some stuff on Cool G Rap and DJ Polo's Wanted Dead or Alive. You know what I'm saying? I know he threw a shot at Eric B on the Snake Eyes joint from Breaking Adams, which I know that's an album I have to talk about at some point though, but still. Yeah. Give me 1 second. I'm get some water real quick. My throat was dry for a minute. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, man. So instead of like Lost Professor with Marley Marl, you had Marley Marl's Marley Marl like mentee K Def. You know what I'm saying? And of course, K Def definitely did like a lot of stuff with him. You know, I think he did some stuff with like Boys of the Underground too. So of course LL Cool J's 14 Shots to the Dome. That's the first thing that comes to my mind. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. All right, so this album came out in 1993. We are looking at 16 tracks on this album, and we are going to get started with the first track, Shalom Alek. This is actually, believe it or not, my favorite song off this album, to be real with you. Possibly my favorite Intelligent Hoodlum song next to Arrest the President. You know what I'm saying? Very, very, very jazzy, yet very funky kind of track, in my opinion. You know what I'm saying? That ding, I love the intro. That ding, 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 ding. Like that beat alone, man, is so fucking ill. You know what I'm saying? I fucking love that beat. And then he starts off with, "Why you wanna fuck with a nigga like me? Why you wanna fuck with a nigga like me? Assalamu alaikum." Like, oh my, he was just going in on that fucking joint. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to pull up some lyrics, but of course I can't find any lyrics online, of course, and I don't have the album on me. So yeah, that's pretty heavy. But yeah, this is actually my favorite song off this whole album, and I feel like yeah, definitely a banger for track.
We talking about Shalom Alek.
Yeah,
Why did they put that the first track and then you got the intro after that?
I hate when rappers do that shit because
Right.
other rappers did that shit at the time too.
Yeah, that's weird. This was dope. I like the beat and the pianos, and we had Tragedy shouting out different artists. That's Nas and Boys of the Underground, Onyx. A lot of those artists from back then.
Definitely. All right, and then we have like the Hoodlum intro. Again, I hate when rappers do this shit. They have a dope ass fucking song, and then they want to add an intro to like the second song and stuff like that. We seen that with Mob Deep with the Infamous, which I do like the Infamous prelude because that's when he was throwing shots at Keith Murray. Snoop Dogg, this nigga did for Doggy's like he had like the bathtub intro. Oh, and then he had a G Funk intro. I'm just like, nigga, you have two fucking intros at once, nigga. What the fuck? Yeah, I hate it when rappers do this shit. But hey, um, definitely a nice little beat anyway. So I can't really hate on it too much.
It was cool. I like the beat on it. The ones.
Facts. Yeah, I think Marley did that beat too. So all right, track number 3, Underground. Very, very, very dope track right here. Nice little trumpet loop that starts it off. You know what I'm saying? This features him and his homie Track Low. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, pretty dope song. I love the way they were flipping on this one. Um, It is credited as a K Def production from what I looked up, but it sounds more like Marley Marl to me. I'm not gonna hold you. Maybe Marley did some work on it. He didn't want to be credited. I don't know the way how these rappers and these producers be want to have credit for one beat than the other beat. I don't understand this shit. But anyway, it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? I guess because since that's his understudy, I don't know, whatever.
Yeah.
Um, Tragedy had this one line. He says, and I quote, "I do a backflip into a split, grab my dick, pick up the Glock, and load the clip." I don't know. I just love that fucking line. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
But yeah, this one was a very, very, very dope joint. I love this one.
That used to confuse me too, like, cause K Def, like back then, K Def, there'd be tracks where it sounded like Marley produced it, but it was K Def, and then vice versa. You know what I'm saying? So maybe they had a hand
Yeah,
in both of them together. I liked it. I liked the beat for it, and you got Tragedy saying so you can get the so you can get the bullet and you can get the fist, but if you feel the flavor, then you better flow with this.
definitely.
Dope.
All right. Next song is like funk mode. You know what I'm saying? Self-explanatory, another kind of like funky track. If you guys recognize a sample, that's the same sample Brand Nubian used for Punks Jump Up to get a beat down. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Love that song. Other people use that sample too, but that's the first thing that recognize when I recognize of it. Um, yeah, man, just Trash just doing some more freestyle bars and everything like that. You know what I'm saying? I definitely fuck with this one.
He said, getting hit is like Farrakhan kissing a white bitch. When I flip scripts, I get wicked like a witch. Fire, fire beat. Love the sample.
Definitely a very dope sample indeed.
Hmm.
Um, next song we got is here. Next song we got is Grand Groove. Now this is the original version. I'm gonna save my thoughts on the remix when we get to that. This sample has been used a lot. That Isaac Hayes sample, everyone, it kind of irritates me. I'm just gonna say this right now. I
Mm.
love Isaac Hayes. I love that song, but people only sample that specific ding 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 ding, ding that specific part.
Right.
And I'm looking at myself like everybody has used that from like I think Mary J. Blige
Hmm.
used that. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So many people on top of my head, but
Yeah.
if you hear that record, there's this one part that no one really samples, and I always wanted to hear it in a sample. Me personally, I mean, I don't want to be the 8,000 person using that sample and shit like that too. So
Yeah.
I like to look for more obscure shit. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
But that's besides the point. Grand Groove. This song is pretty much just talking about people that he's lost over the years and everything, and also talks about how you just gotta appreciate life for what it is. You can't just like dwell in the past and everything like that. It's kind of like a tribute to like his fallen soldiers, but a lot more introspective. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
definitely a very very fire joint. Like I said, I'm gonna save my thoughts on the remix.
I love it. The beat was used by a lot of people, but it still sounds good. It sounds fresh when people use it, and you got Grant Tragedy saying I write raps precious like artifacts because I'm a cool cat trying to get real fat. Love those lines, and yeah, this is dope.
Yeah, definitely. All right. Next song is called At Large. At Large. What I got from this track right here is pretty much him just comparing himself with like people on the run and everything. It's like one of the more political tracks on this album. To keep
Right.
it real with you, he's just calling out everybody from Clarence Thomas, John F. Kennedy, Catholic churches. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, man. Like I said before, this one definitely a very, 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 very dope joint right here too. You know what I'm saying? But hey, it's very dope.
Yeah. He's talking about this. Remind me of like watching like the Fugitive film with Harrison Ford and Tommy Lee Jones. You know,
I've never
like
seen
Harrison
that.
Ford. You never seen that, the Fugitive?
I've
You
seen
got
the
watch.
show, not the movie.
You had a show for that?
Yeah, back in the
What was that?
'60s.
Oh, now the movie with Harrison. The first one was good. The second one I like more with Wesley Snipes and yeah,
Oh
Tommy Lee
shit.
Jones. Yeah, they made a sequel. Wesley Snipes because Harrison Ford didn't come back for a sequel, so they got Wesley Snipes and Harrison Ford was in, not Harrison Ford. Tommy Lee Jones, Robert Downey Jr. was in that one. It was good. And it was like kind of like that for me. Like he's on the run and he's saying, check the rhyme, no time for subliminal. Heard from the CO, now I'm running like a criminal. Back in the land of the most, the bloody sheets and the burning cross. I'm at large. I love the beat for that. The horns, the scratching.
Yeah, it's definitely a very, very, very dope song. You know what I'm saying? I feel like this album he got a bit more political. He got a bit more political than the first album. You
Right,
know what I'm saying? I definitely, especially at that time too, with the LA riots and
right.
everything, the Gulf Wars and stuff like that too. He definitely fit the mold. All right, next song we got is Death Row. You know what I'm saying? Self-explanatory, just him talking about how he got set up. He got set up by like one of his homies and stuff like that, and now he's in death row. You know what I'm saying? Very, very, very good storytelling. Very good storytelling with this one right here. You know what I'm saying? Like definitely steps his game up when it came to a storytelling on this record as well too. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it's a pretty short track, but it's like sets the whole fucking point.
This was good. I love the beat, the storytelling on it. Definitely a strong album cut.
I agree. All right, next song we got is Speech. Check the time. This was just a short clip taken from one of his live shows. Just him hyping the crowd up, just talking about what time is it, you know what I'm saying? So yeah,
Yeah, it was cool.
got you. Next song now is called Mad Brothers Know His Name. Um, pretty okay song. It's not only one of my favorites on this record, on this album. To be real with you, I kind of felt like again, that that sample has been used a couple times. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, it's not a high track. Not only one of my favorites.
I liked it. I think the beat was fire. I like the Guru sample in it. He
Yeah,
said, "While you be doing time and busting nuts in your wife, he letting you do your time. Come home, I want to fight." Loved his flow on that beat. The beat was fire.
yeah, definitely a fire beat indeed. All right, so next song we got is Past the Tech featuring Havoc. This is another one of my favorite tracks on this album. You know what I'm saying? Speaking of Large Professor, it definitely utilizes a thing that Large Professor does well, and that's like when he used to like make his samples, he sometimes really like manipulate like the sample saying like and then make it sound exactly what the song is saying. You know what I'm saying? So with Past the Tech, they used the rap as the light line. So what you hear is not a test. But then the way he slowed it down, it made it seem like test. He was saying tech. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So I definitely love that shit. I've always liked when Large Professor did that, but of course, Large Professor didn't do this one. It was K Def. K Def did this one and stuff like that too. You know what I'm saying? So, but still, pretty cool song. Um, Havoc. This is like young Havoc, like Juvenile Hell, Mob Deep. They definitely did their thing. Um, yeah, Juvenile Hell. That's a very underrated album. Not the best Mob Deep album, but it's enjoyable. That's all I can say. Yo, Try, you good? I think he's having some issues with his camera. I think he's having some issues. Um, I'm gonna answer a few people in the comments before he. I feel like he's gonna come out very soon. Antoine said, the beginning of Havoc before Mob Deep. Yes, definitely. Even you, the man, as well, have Enter the Stage's album featured Havoc. Yeah, Havoc did a lot of guest appearances. I forgot he also was on Enter the Stage too. Um, Dark Ages Jefferson said classic album. I'm not gonna argue with you about that. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, this album definitely was a very, 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 very political joint. You know what I'm saying? All
I
right,
I like the beat. This was like that was Mobb Deep on there, right?
yeah, Havoc.
He sounded young, yo. Like I'm listening to this, and he sounded like the youngsters. Remember when the youngsters first came out in '92?
Yeah,
When they came out with like Pass the Mic and shit, and I'm like, yo, this sound like the youngsters. The youngsters could have been on this joint. You know what I'm saying?
I'm not gonna hold you.
These niggas was like, it's so crazy, like how far artists like that have come. Like you look at Havoc now, he don't sound nothing like how he did back in when he was like what 15, 16 when this shit came out.
Right.
But it was dope.
Yeah, it's definitely a very, very, very dope track indeed. All right. Next song we got would be Street Life. Again, this was a pretty, pretty, pretty cool song. The beat was okay. I feel like it was a bit too mellow for me. You know what I'm saying? I kind of feel like it could have upped the notch a little bit, but I feel like that was kind of the point of the track right here too. You know what I'm saying? So the thing about this track right here is just that he talks about like three instances like where street life kind of fuck with somebody and everything like that. You know what I'm saying? Like this one with this girl who's having like a young girl who ends up becoming pregnant. You know what I'm saying? Then next thing you know, you have another verse where he's talking about the young drug dealer who gets caught up on the wrong side of the tracks, and then you also have one about a stick up kid and everything like that too.
Yeah.
Um, it's a pretty, pretty, pretty dope track in my personal opinion. I just didn't really care too much for that beat. I thought that beat could have been a bit better. So yeah.
You know what's crazy? Um, Thinking about the Havoc thing, like when Havoc was doing these features, like on Black Moon first album and this album, I think that's when he really should have like started to promote himself as a solo artist. You know what I'm saying? Because
Mm,
he waited like years later. I felt like it was he was like already past his prime when he came out as a solo artist. Like he should have really started when he was like 16, 17. You know what I'm saying? But instead, Prodigy was the one that got all the glory when he was a solo artist. But that just came into my head like, yo, like Havoc really should have started promoting himself as a solo artist back then. But this beat was fire. You had Tragedy, talking about, like you mentioned, the father that was like taking drugs and molesting his daughter, and you know um my bad, that's the next one. This one was more about like the mother being on crack, and like she's doing it in front of her kids and shit. He says can't take stress. So she picks up the pipe high in front of the kid. Now that ain't right. Saying to herself, one day she'll quit, but it's day after day and hit after hit. I like that one. That was like a touching story.
yeah, very, very touching story indeed. All right, next track we got is Pump the Funk. Now this was credited as a Marley Marl track right here, you know what I'm saying? What I like about this track was the metaphor that it uses. It's pretty much comparing music to drug dealing. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Because the cop like pulled Tragedy over, and he's all like, "What do you have?" and stuff like, "What are you bumping?" and they trying to arrest, and then it's like he's not selling drugs. It's the way he's just playing his music and stuff. That's like how his music's loud in the system. And it kind of, this song kind of reminds me of the LL Cool J song, "The Booming System" from Mama Said Knock You Out,
Mm-hmm.
which I fucking love that song. That's like one of my favorites from that
Right.
album. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It kind of reminds me of that in terms of concepts. So
Right.
this one was a very, very, very good track.
Even in Master Ace, Jeep ass nigga, we talked about that.
Ooh, that's
You know what I'm saying?
yes,
The first verse from 99 Problems, Jay-Z talked about that.
right.
Is that still a thing? Like when you're like driving and you're bumping your music loud, is that still a thing? Like do they stop you for that
Sometimes
sometimes?
depends on where you actually are,
Right. I guess as
or
long as
they,
you black, it's always gonna happen. So
or what they do is they'll probably follow you and
right,
fuck with
the
you
way
and
you're
stuff
going.
like that. Yeah.
Right. So let's okay. So like if you're like you getting your ride from your house, you're bumping the booming system, and you go to the mall, and they'll follow you all the way to the mall and then leave.
No, no, no. What? It's like this. It's like most of the time it just happens at night and
Hmm.
everything like that. Some cops like around my area would just be like chilling, like in the
Right.
sidelines, and then you just say you have your music bumping. All of
Hmm.
a sudden they want to leave from their section and just go drive or follow you just to make sure you ain't doing some other shit because they might think that you're under the influence
Oh,
and
I
everything
see.
like that too. So yeah,
Right.
like I said, it happened to me plenty of times. It happened to me plenty of times
So
before.
you're
Like
used to
that's
that
why,
at this.
yeah, that's why sometimes I just fucking if I know it's gonna be an area where it's gonna be like a lot of 5-0, I just turn my shit at a respectable level, like not too low but not too loud.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because don't nobody have time for that bullshit. You know.
Right. Yeah, this was a great song. I love the easy. That was the easy sample, right?
Um, I don't think so.
No,
No.
it sounded like easy.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
yeah, yeah. It was. It was. Yeah, it was.
Oh,
NWA. Yeah.
yeah, I like the NWA sample. The beat was fire. He's saying, I thought I sold drugs, but the sound was the product. Because every nigga doesn't have to sell narcotics. And I love that. You know what I'm saying? Like they thinking you selling drugs, and he was selling his beats and rhymes, and that was a dope ass track.
Yeah, definitely a very dope track. All right, track number 13, Role Model. Um, again, he's pretty much just talking about how like the young black, the young black youth or the young black children, sometimes we get set up for the system because there's a stereotype about how most of them are raised by single parents and everything, or like you say, their parents are in prison, and some of them they don't have like a parent to look at role models. Sometimes their role models comes from the people they know from the streets and
Right.
everything like that too, or they just use their own learning and everything too. Which I'm not saying it's a hood thing. It's like a
Mm.
because it can happen to anybody.
Yeah.
Honestly, if someone just falls under the wrong tracks and everything, but at the same time, it's just that you can't just always blame the lack of a parent for
Right.
your own misdoings. Some instances, but
Hmm.
one has to learn that they have to make their own decisions in their own life. That's the thing. If that makes sense.
They gotta have a strong family too. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like if they come, like for me, like came from a single parent. No father. I only had my grandparents. While my mom was at work. You know what I'm saying? And my grandparents was taking care of me, and I had like friends at an early age that they went on the wrong side of the tracks, and they were stealing and robbing, cutting people up, and I just knew that wasn't for me at a young age. But that's not gonna be everybody. And that's why I said like this culture, this hip hop raised a lot of us. You listen to the message, a song like the message, everything that Melly Mel is saying in that song, that would put any youngin on a different path. Just
Right.
all his lyrics, everything that he's saying in that song, just that one song right there. You know what I'm saying? And that's all I needed to hear. And this story is like I could definitely hear Pac doing something like this. You know what I'm
Almost
saying?
definitely.
Like when Tragedy is talking about how the father is strung out on drugs and he's molesting his own daughter, and the mother don't care, or she don't want to be bothered with it, and they should have had a video for this shit. You know what I'm
I
saying?
agree.
And he's saying she's weak and she's too scared to speak, so now he's gonna do it every other week. She tells her mother, but her mother won't bother because the boogeyman she's seeing is her father. Like we've seen, like, they've had Law and Order episodes based on shit like this. You know what I'm saying? We've seen stuff like this on television before, and I think it was a great storytelling by Tragedy, and the beat was fire.
Honestly, Pac did do a song like this. Shorty wanna be a thug. You can pretty
Right,
much say keep your head up, to be real with you, you know what I'm
right.
saying? So
I forgot about that. That's it.
yeah. Hell, maybe Pac was influenced by Intelligent Hoodlum, you never know.
Hey, that would have been a great collab right there.
Oh my god,
You know what I
yes.
mean?
Especially if
Great,
he was on Strictly for My Niggas. Oh
right? And you put him with Johnny J production.
yes, yes. I
You
definitely
know,
agree with you.
that'd be cool. Easy Mo B or something. That'd be crazy.
Facts. But yeah, man, that's not besides the point. That's definitely a very dope track. Next song is called The Posse Shoot 'Em Up. So this song, like you mentioned, was on the Mario Van Peebles movie Posse. You know what I'm saying? Which that movie was alright. It was kind of
Well,
cheesy, but
yeah.
if you want a good black western movie, watch The Harder They Fall.
Yes. That
You know
was
what
a
I'm
good one.
saying? That one I definitely want to talk about one day.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? But
that was good.
I mean, with this track right here, it's like for one, he's comparing. He said like a lot of the western movies are just like complete bullshit
Hmm.
compared to like what you see like in his own environment with all the shootings and killings and everything. Um, he also gives information about like black cowboys
Hmm.
and everything like that too. Because people always want to give that notion that all cowboys was white, but then you had some black cowboys back in the day too.
Hmm.
Now I'm gonna be real with you. I don't have the best knowledge when it comes to black cowboys and everything like that. I'm gonna be honest, but at the same time, it's always something I do want to look into. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, this definitely is a very, 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 very interesting track. I kind of felt like since the Posse soundtrack came out on A&M Records, they wanted like Trash to say, "Hey, I'm gonna let you do a song for the Posse soundtrack. Just get some of that hip hop audience and everything like that too. You know what I'm saying? So,
Right.
eh, it is what it is.
I mean, so it had a black cast at that time, and you did. I think the soundtracks were big, so you have a black cast. So next thing you need is a soundtrack, and that's what they did. I don't even remember
Right.
that song. Like, I don't remember. I never bought it. I don't know even remember if I heard it, but I remember that song because that was like the only song they were playing in the movie trailer. But um, I wasn't a huge fan of westerns. Like I've seen some, Clint Eastwood stuff, and 310 to Yuma was pretty good. Like you mentioned, The Harder They Fall was great. That was probably at the top right now because we don't have a lot of black westerns, for ourselves. But that movie sucked. That movie was not good. I remember Big Daddy Kane was trying too hard in that film. You know,
Oh my God.
that was, when was that? Like 90, 91 that came out?
93. Yeah.
93, yeah. So this is like looks like a job for Kane. So, well, he had a good album that year, but that movie sucked. You know,
How did
um,
Mario go from New Jack City to Posse? That's what I'm trying to figure out.
I don't know, like, and he was just doing any old shit for a check. You know what I'm saying? Like he had a movie called Solo, and he was just doing all kind of garbage like that was like should have been straight to DVD at that point. You know what I mean? And I was
For
like, nah,
real.
we just doing any old thing now. You know?
That's why I can't really put him on like the same length as Spike Lee.
Right? Nah, he
Just
ain't Spike. Fuck no. Spike.
hell
I
no.
don't think there's one movie from Spike that I don't like. Like he never had like a whack movie, and I said like, yo, I can't watch this. Like I have my favorites from him, but he never had like that one movie where I just couldn't watch it.
Yeah. For me, I don't dislike the movie. I mostly dislike the ending, and that's Jungle Fever, which we recently
Mhm.
talked about
Right.
and everything.
Right.
Like I said, the movie it had its good moments and everything. I was more interested in the side plot with Samuel Jackson.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But Spike Lee always had those movies where it's like it always asks you a lot of questions about
Mhm.
how can this have happened, or
Right.
what as a people are we doing wrong, or no pun intended to do the right thing. So are we
Yeah.
really doing the right thing? Who actually
Right.
did the right thing?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, I definitely get your point because some people want to say how Spike and Mario Van Peebles kind of has similar direct. I was like, no, stop
Nah.
it.
Fuck no.
Even New Jack City, I feel like if Spike Lee would have made New Jack City, would have because New Jack City had like a lower budget compared to other Spike Lee movies at that time too. You know what I'm saying? But
But it was
still,
raw.
it's
I
still
don't know if Spike had made New Jack
yeah,
City how it how it came out.
yeah. Like New Jack City was like raw, especially with the crack epidemic at that
Yeah.
time, really
Yeah.
having a head and stuff too. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Um. Yeah. I mean, like he had a couple nice lines. He said, "So it's safe to say, real men wore black. Gunslingers now they're quick to put you on your back." It was cool. I like the I still like the song.
Yeah, definitely a very good song too. Maybe if we have extra time with the soundtrack, maybe we might slide in the Posse soundtrack
Oh
if we
boy.
have time. If we have time.
Have you heard the soundtrack? I don't remember hearing it.
I've I've not heard the soundtrack. I've not never heard the soundtrack
Man, yeah, shit. I'm afraid to even
because
see who else is on. If Tragedy is on this soundtrack and he's the leading single, who else is on this soundtrack?
let me look at hold on because now I'm curious now.
Who else was? Sally Richardson was in that film also because
She was
she
on
was like
everything at the time.
she was like the love interest for Mario Van Peebles character.
Oh, Tone Loc was on the soundtrack. Okay. Um, Top Choice Click, Vesta
Man, what's that?
Williams, Sounds of Blackness,
Oh
Neville
my
Brothers. Yeah,
wow.
it don't look too. Besides Tone Loc and Intelligent Hoodlum, it don't really look too exciting. and,
Oh shit.
and this is like Tone Loc's second album because after the second album he went on like a hiatus, mostly focused on acting and voice acting himself too.
Right,
So
right. What the fuck?
anyway, yeah, we can skip that. We can skip.
This soundtrack was horrible. Mario Van Peebles was doing songs.
I think that's probably an interlude. That got to be an interlude or
So they
something
had like
because
Sally Richardson have a song on here. Mario Van Peebles. What the fuck? This soundtrack was terrible, b.
yeah, Vesta Williams has like two tracks. I'm not the biggest Vesta Williams fan like that anyway. So
The one rap song no, the two rap songs on here is Tone Loc and Tragedy. Yeah, that's why I didn't check for it. Wow, it's crazy. Oh
like
man,
yeah, we can skip that shit. We,
yeah.
we can skip that. We ain't missing much. I was trying to be experimental, but yeah. Anyway, next my father was watching some stuff on TV. Next song we got Grand Groove Bonus Mix. Now this is probably next to Shalom Malak, probably my favorite song off this album.
Hmm.
Now we all know how much I love that Patrice Russian reminded me sample.
Right.
That's been talked about to death, but
Hmm.
I think that was one of the first. I'm gonna look it up right quick. I think that was one of the first time that sample was used.
Right.
Because if it was one of the first times, I'm gonna let it slide because we talking about hella songs and they hella motherfuckers use that sample
So you mean to tell
and stuff
me
like
Tragedy was the one that opened the lane for everybody to use that Patrice Russian
that.
sample?
Let me double check. Let me double check because that's one thing I love about who sampled that shit.
Right.
Damn, 113 people songs sampled this shit. Okay.
Wow.
Oh no, Grandmaster Flash and the Furious Five used this first. Oh,
Okay.
okay.
Dope.
Yeah, that song called Fly. That's actually my joint, Fly Girl. Okay.
Chicago.
Yeah. You
and
said, "Oh
then
my god."
Tragedy used it.
Oh no, that other people use it even before tragedy. Like
Right.
R. Kelly used it, Chubb Rock used it for the
R.
Just the
Kelly
Two
used it
of
for what?
Us,
What was it, a remix?
the Born into the '90s song.
Oh, from the public announcement joint. Okay.
Yeah,
I don't remember
yeah,
that
man.
song.
Brother
Mm,
Chung used it for Walking to My. Now, yeah, he did use that shit. Okay,
mm,
okay, yeah. Hello, motherfuckers. Used this even before tragedy. Okay, I don't know why I thought tragedy was like one of the because the people who use that sample use it like between '94 to like '96. You
right.
know what I'm saying? So
Um,
I don't know. I thought Tragedy was like one of the first ones to use it, but I forgot Grandmaster Flash and the Furious Five used that first off that second album. Which, despite the whole Melly Mel shit, I actually like that second album. But
right.
I'm gonna say my thoughts on that one day. I don't give a fuck. I still fuck with Melly Mel. He crazy as hell though, but still. But yeah, I love this remix a bit more. I feel like the video. I love the video too. The video is
Hmm.
very dope as fuck.
Yeah.
Like I thought Hype Williams did that video at first, but he didn't do it. So
Right.
yeah, this is a pretty dope joint.
Yeah. This one was great. It was melodic. Had like a summertime, feel to it, and I love the Patrice Russian song. That's a classic, and he's dedicating this to like all the mothers that passed away, people that passed away. It was somber. It had like a somber tone to it, and
Right.
him just saying, talking to his grandmother and saying, you gave me a home and a life that was decent, but instead I ended up in the precinct and lost soul. I didn't understand how precious life was until I was a man. I love that, and that was '93 was the same year that I lost my grandmother on my mother's side of the family too. So, um, I was probably still grieving at this point when this came out, and I could relate to that, and it was great. It was a great remix.
Definitely a very great remix.
Yeah,
Uh, and the last track on this album, Funky Roll Outro is just an instrumental. You know what I'm saying? Nothing to it. Very very dope instrumental, but still nothing
yeah,
to it.
that was dope. That had a dope beat too.
Overall, this is actually a very great album in my personal opinion. A very 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 political, conscious album. I feel like it was a bit more political than the first album, man. That's saying something too, especially with songs like "Arrest the President" and everything like that. But this one, he definitely focused more on like the ill wills of the ghetto and everything like that too. You know, he had a few more like braggadocio songs on some joints, but then some songs he definitely went a bit more conceptual as well. If I had to pick a small gripe, it will probably be like it did use like a lot of familiar samples compared to the first album, which
Mm,
I'm not going to call that too much, you know what I'm saying? Because it's like a small gripe because the beats were still dope, in
right.
my personal opinion. But I do feel like Trash stepped his pen game up with this project as well too. You know what I'm saying? Like I sometimes go back and forth which one I like more, the self-titled one or this one. I
Right.
feel like conceptually I'll pick this one, but mm, I don't see. I might have to do an episode about that because
Right.
I can't pick which one I like more. To be real with you, because I don't know. That first album had some joints though; it had joints, but this album you can feel the anger, like the LA riots at that time was happening. And then, of course, the label telling him to change the name of the project and stuff
Mm,
too. I gotta look for that vinyl with the
mm.
demos and stuff like that too, of this album, like the Black Rage OG copies and stuff too. So I'm gonna give this a 4.7 out of 5.
4.7. Okay.
Yeah, because like I said, the small gripe is the familiar
Oh,
sample. Everything else is stellar. So
right. Yeah, I think it was great storytelling, and him touching on different topics. Like drugs and you know um child abuse, and he had his rhymes where he was just kicking bars, and you know doing a dedication song for fallen loved ones, and The boom bap production from Marley and K Duff was great. I really was like tuned into their stuff at that point when they were doing stuff for like Lords of the Underground and the Youngsters and Real Live and World Renown, Sabi. They were doing a lot of great underground stuff. I think this is definitely a underrated album. The songs, Grand Groove, both versions. I love the original version and the remix. At Large, Mad Brothers Know His Name, Street Life, Pump the Funk, Role Model. I'm gonna definitely give it 4.5. You know, to me, it's his best album. You know,
I'm not mad about that.
I like Still Reporting also. Still Reporting came during the time when CNN was blowing up with War Report, and Queensbridge was just hot. A lot of everybody from that area was just cooking. So, but this is my favorite in terms of Hoodlum album.
Yeah, man, it definitely had a raw feeling. That's one thing I love about hip hop albums around that, like that raw production. And then I know
Yeah,
niggas these days talk about, oh, well, the mix is too raw. The mix gotta be better and master. Well, sometimes I like that
mix
raw
is good.
shit.
It's good like that. It's good like that.
Yeah,
I don't feel like it need. I mean, if they re-release it, it's gonna be on colored vinyl. It's not gonna sound the same like the OG copy, and I think it's raw like that. That's what hip hop is all about, and it was great.
yeah, I definitely feel you about that because some of my favorite hip hop albums just had that raw production. Like I'm
Right,
gonna name one that hasn't really been talked about.
hmm,
Brother and Chung's Loaded album from
right.
'97.
Hmm.
Even Brother and Chung don't even like that album. I'm looking at myself like, nigga, what?
That
Like,
wouldn't
nigga,
be the
what?
first time an artist didn't like the album.
Yeah, like I like that album and Season of the Sickness
Hmm.
classics,
Yeah.
horrorcore classics. Plus Halloween is coming too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, man. Don't be surprised but why do we always have to do horrorcore albums on Halloween? That's always weird
Because
to
it,
me. But
it 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 gets you in the mood for Halloween. I mean, at least for me, when I played, Gravedigger 6 Feet Deep or Temples of Boom, it always puts me in the Halloween spirit.
right,
You know,
definitely because like we definitely talk about the first two Gravediggers album,
right? Anything from
Nightmare
Necro,
and
Necro also. I love Necro.
oh, Necro's definitely coming this October.
Yeah,
Necro's definitely coming. Um, I was thinking about also talking about Flatliners too.
yeah. Flatliners, yeah.
That's
They
a
first
very
album.
that's a very interesting album and shit too. So yeah. What time is it? I'm gonna stay on till like 1 o'clock because I'm not.
Okay.
I was supposed to do some shit with Mike, but he's still doing the review with Ray Sean.
They,
Shout
they
out to them
still
and
they
talking about
still
this
doing the
jet.
Jets.
Oh yeah, they still.
Then they start at 11. They don't take
I
you
think they
all that
started a little
long
bit.
to talk about.
They started a little bit late though because
Oh,
I think yeah
I'm
yeah
about to say,
yeah
I'm
man.
like, that album only got like what, 8 or 9 songs? It's not that long of an album.
Hey, I'm not mad about that. Everyone's over here doing YouTube channels and stuff like that. We just met a dope new person. Shout
Yeah,
out to Amp, by the way.
yes. We still
You know what I'm
waiting for
saying?
BJ to start his channel. BJ, I know you in here. I know you in here somewhere, lurking like you always do. Start your
Y'all need to,
channel.
y'all need to leave BJ alone, man. He
Start your
he
channel.
waiting
If
for
you,
the
if
right
you start
time.
your channel, if you start your channel, then I promise to come on for the first episode and I'll talk about all the Biggie you want me to talk about. I
Y'all
know
need to
he's
leave
dying to talk
BJ.
about Biggie. He's gonna mention Biggie every day. I'll talk about all the Biggie you want to talk about for your first episode.
Oh, speaking of watching, I saw the Michael Bivins documentary. When do you want to talk about that?
I didn't see it yet. I'm still looking. I'm still waiting for the links. They haven't put the links up on streaming yet.
I thought you damn the way you've been talking
No,
about this. I
I
thought you
didn't
seen
watch.
that
No,
shit.
I was watching the Bismarck Key when I was waiting for. They put it up finally, but I, the Michael Bivins documentary is getting so much publicity that I want. I've seen the Matt Hoffa interview he did. It was great. He's been making the rounds on Breakfast Club and Sway in the morning. You know what I'm saying? So I want to see the documentary because there's like a lot of stuff he didn't talk about in the Math interview that he just left for the documentary. But it's only on the All Black app. I'm like, I'm not paying money just to see that, and everything else on that app is garbage. That's like having BET Plus.
Hey, I got BET Plus.
Yeah.
Chill out.
That shit is there's nothing good on there. I'm like, yo, just put the shit on streaming so I can watch it, man. You know,
I be trying to help
they're
your
quick
ass
to put
out.
up a documentary. Yo, they'll put up a documentary on Charles Manson before anything else.
Man, when I saw All Black did a documentary on Soldier Boy, I'm looking at myself like Soldier Boy.
Come on, man.
I'm just gonna review that and put it out on the Patreon just in case.
I saw the. Did you see the? You into boxing or no?
Yeah, I like boxing. Yeah.
I saw the De La Hoya documentary. They were quick to put that up on HBO Max.
Oh wow.
You know, they talking about how he was, fucking different celebrities and he was rich and then he started cross dressing and shit. I'm like, yo, y'all was quick to put up De La Hoya's documentary. When people want to see Michael
Wait.
Vick's documentary, we gotta wait. We gotta pay for All Black. You know what I'm saying?
That's why I told you I can give you my promise. I don't mind you looking at my promise. Though.
That shit need to be on Amazon Prime. You know what I'm saying? It should be on there. You know?
You funny as fuck, man. Antoine said Loaded is dope. The second album is amazing. I got that on cassette. Yeah, those are my two favorite albums from Brother Lynch Hung. He still drops dope shit too, but I feel like he never topped those two.
Right.
24 Deep EP was good, but he uses a lot of familiar. He was still trying to find his sound with that, you know. There's another horrorcore motherfucker I used to listen to sometimes and shit. Isham. Yeah, Isham.
Isham, okay, yeah. Isham Anadas.
Yeah. I know we talked about Do You Believe in God. I want to talk about the Blaze for Me album from Nadas.
Okay.
That shit is fire as fuck too. That's another album where it didn't have like the best mixing and stuff too, but still.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, let me drop a few announcements. Let me tell y'all what we got going on this week. It's gonna be a good ass fucking week, man. Hip Hop 50. I don't know, this whole Hip Hop 50 thing has been influencing a lot of my reviews I've been picking.
Right.
By the way, you saw what I got from that vinyl store in
Yeah,
Virginia.
you sent it to me. Yeah. I seen this shit.
Yeah, man, they got some shit. Though. I might go back there next week, depending on how my money is and shit. Cause when I tell you that there's some shit
One of them that you bought on CD, I had on cassette, but I didn't like the album though.
you told me that.
Yes, and thing is, I can get the cassette again because there's a store that have it for like $5. But I'm like, yo, I made a mistake buying that album.
Yeah, man. The thing with that vinyl store is like it's only open on Saturdays from like 9:30 to 5:30. And I know next
Are they
week I get off at 3.
are they
Okay.
Jewish? Are they Jewish?
He did sound like he was late for a bar mitzvah, but
But
that's all I'm
there's
gonna
like
say.
some stores that over here, like they'll only open on the weekends because they Jewish or whatever. I don't know why they only open on the weekend, but
That was messed up what I said.
he sounded Jewish.
But
That's what you said.
I said he sounded like he was late for a bar mitzvah or something. But no, he was a nice guy and stuff like that. You know, he has the only down part was that like he didn't have as much hip hop as I wanted, but he
Right,
had a lot of hip. He had like some good amount of hip hop. You know what I'm saying?
right.
Part of me wants to show you guys something, but I'm gonna wait till
I know you're
next
dying to.
week.
You might as well.
I am because this. I don't know. I got some heat though. I got some heat, but some ones you're gonna be surprised I got because
Um,
you kind of influenced me on some of my choices for albums because you said that.
Me? I influence you? I didn't know I
Yeah,
had
because
that
you
power.
you you said some shit like I used to pick albums just to fuck with you and stuff
Ah,
like that too.
is that
So
why you bought that CD?
which one?
No.
No, because I actually got it because there was some
Mhm.
stuff I liked from that
Right,
and everything like that. And plus, I have I like the era, the years from that
right.
particular artist. So I'm looking at myself like it was only like for like $3 or $4. Why
Yes.
not? $2,
She
$2. Why
definitely
not?
was. in her bag. I like the last song on the album. That's it. Everything else, and that even that last song don't even fit the album.
Hold on, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Let me check something right quick. Oh damn! I even have the compilation. I even have the compilation for that joint too, where
Yeah, the
it has that
compilation.
particular song. You
Yes.
know,
Oh, like you mean like the best of or whatever?
yeah, the one that came out the
Yeah,
same year as that soundtrack.
yeah, yeah. Cause yeah, that I think that was like the only way you could find the song. It wasn't on none of her regular albums.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Hold on, John Dixon asked. He asked us if you ever did a review on King T at your own risk. No, not yet.
I don't got that. I don't got no King T albums actually.
Yeah, we just did a Full Life album so
Yeah,
far.
that was great for life.
Yeah, man, I definitely that's actually my favorite King T album too. But like I said, shout out to John Dixon. He actually sent me the Dub C album we're going to talk about.
Yes, I
That's
do have that
why
one. I do have that.
I count that
I
as a
have
donation.
the first two Dub C albums. That one and Ghetto Heisman.
Oh, you mean the solo album?
The solo albums, not the Man Circle stuff.
You know, it's crazy because I saw the second album
Mm.
on that Denver vinyl store,
Oh
but
wow.
I'm gonna be real with you. I've only heard that album a lot of years before, so I gotta re-listen to that. Plus,
Yeah.
there was one album that I had to get
Hmm.
because I never seen that album on vinyl. But like
Right.
I said, I might come back if it's still there. I'm gonna get it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because
Ghetto Heisman was dope. I mean, for me, I liked it.
yeah, I like the shadiest one too from '98.
Yeah, Shady's one was dope. Yeah.
But to me, if I had to pick a best overall project, it might be that Curb Serving album.
Yeah.
Man,
That was good too.
you're the one,
Hmm.
baby. You're the one.
I remember
Your
seeing that
Dub
video.
C was just floating on that fucking project and shit. Just floating,
Definitely.
man. That nigga don't get his. It fucks with me how he don't get his just due.
Yeah.
It fucks with me so much, man.
Now it's like he's like Ice Cube's hype man and shit. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
I mean,
excuse me, Don Megas.
when I saw Cube had Dub C with him. You know what I mean?
Right.
When he was at Rock the Bells, he had Dub C with him last year.
Yeah, man. Dub C. All right, but yeah. So tomorrow at 11 p.m. it's gonna be our Kumo D show. We're gonna talk about the Funky Funky Wisdom album from 1991, which that's an album I really can't wait to talk about. And then we're also gonna do the part two of the book, where he has like the side list. You know, we thought you thought it was over. We're gonna come right back at you and shit like
What's the
that too.
side
You
list?
know?
What else did he add?
He'll have like top 10 trend centers, top 10 this, you know, so top 10 party makers. So just paraphrasing and shit like that, you know what I'm saying?
It's crazy, bro.
Um yeah, man. So definitely can't wait to talk about that joint. And then Tuesday, probably Tuesday afternoon, me and Try are gonna pre-record on a keyword pre-record the top 10 Jay-Z songs. You know what I'm saying? Which that's gonna be very interesting too because this is actually the first top 10 list. It's not the original
Right.
first top 10 list I want to do, but since we all talk about this whole Jay-Z exhibit that recently happened, I'm like, why not? Why not? Now, a little disclaimer: you're probably not gonna have a lot of your favorite Jay-Z songs on this list. Just gonna be real with you. Just gonna be real. I see. Actually, I'm gonna say that with every artist. When it comes out the top 10 list, you're not gonna have a lot of your favorite songs. Some shit's gonna be left field as fuck. And speaking for myself, I can't speak for Try. Dirt off your shoulders not gonna be on the list. You know what I'm saying?
No, it's not on my list. I can't. You can't put everything. It's only 10. Only 10 is gonna make it. And
Right.
to me, he had a lot of album cuts that were great. That were like some of my favorite, and I might have a couple hits in there. It ain't gonna be all of his shit though.
Definitely. Yeah, I'm gonna watch DuckTales later. So,
Nah,
yeah,
that's
man.
not his best song. Posse? Fuck no, that's not his best song. Not even.
I be feel like he be trolling motherfuckers sometimes.
I definitely see that because he gave the album like 3.7. I'm like, yeah,
Yes. Then Wednesday, we're gonna do a double review on a very dope West Coast rapper, MC Ren. We'll talk
yes.
about Kiss My Black Ass and Shock of the Hour. I only have this album from this EP from MC Ren, but you know what? It's been a long time coming. I'm trying to finish up on my NWA shit. Then Friday is going to be the beginning of our soundtrack review, and we're going to kick it off with the Mass soundtrack. We're going to start it off with the Mass soundtrack.
The Mask with Jim Carrey.
Yes, sir.
That soundtrack.
Oh, hold up. Let me. Oh,
I never
hold
heard
up.
that soundtrack ever.
Oh, you never heard?
I used
Oh, ooh.
Nah, I used to have the movie on VHS, the first one at least, but I never listened to the soundtrack.
Let me tell you something. Let me tell you.
Is it
That
good?
might be my. Is it good? It might be my favorite soundtrack we might talk about. We might be
That's your favorite
so
soundtrack?
far. It might be the favorite soundtrack we might talk about for this episode, for this month,
Oh,
soundtrack month. It has Jim Carrey, of course, Escape, Domino, Tony
what?
Tony, Harry Connick Jr., Vanessa Williams, K7, Fishbone, Brian Seltzer Orchestra, Royal Crown Revue, and Susan Boyd. Yes.
Oh man.
It's like a jazzy swing soundtrack that fits the fucking movie. Bro, nigga, nigga.
But
I
they didn't play
oh,
none of those songs in the movie. I don't remember none of those songs in the movie.
they did. They played on the Jim Carrey joint. They played on the Escape joint too.
I don't remember
Um,
them.
yeah, let me tell you that soundtrack, man. You're gonna something tell me you're gonna love that soundtrack and shit. Cause
K7 I fuck with. I want their album is out of print too. K7.
yes, Fishbone. Come on, man.
Fishbone.
Oh,
Billboard would disagree with who? Tragedy was never on Billboard. So who are you talking about? Why would I care what Billboard got to say?
also too. I want to also do the Beverly Hills breakdown movies. Let's see. I want to do that sometime next week.
Okay.
Sometime next week, because again, next week I got a wedding next week and stuff like that too. I'm gonna be that's gonna be up in the air sometime next week. I'm not gonna put it on the fourth because that's the when we're gonna do that Dub C review. So and the next Cold Chillin' review might be the Granddaddy IU double breakdown next week too,
Cool.
which that's another artist we recently passed away not too long ago. So yeah, this is gonna be a very good week indeed. You know what I'm saying? This tragedy album, like Try mentioned, it we got re-released for its 20th anniversary. You know what I'm saying? So if y'all can find it on streaming, go right ahead. Also look up the Black Rage demos and stuff like that too. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, man, you guys will not regret any of this shit. You know what I'm saying? Um, Tomorrow, catch us when we talk about Kumo D. You know what I'm saying? Can't wait. Eric's gonna join us for that one because you know he loves him some Kumo D.
And the list is gonna be better than the album. What year the album came out? This was after
91.
Wild Wild West and all that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't listen to him after. Yeah, that
Like
shit.
I said, I fuck with the album though, but
Mhm.
it does have a few issues. We'll talk about. We'll talk
A
about it. You
few
know what I'm
issues.
saying? Just just a few. Keyword a few. But like I
Um,
said, we're gonna talk about all that shit. But it has my favorite Kumo D song there. That's all I'm gonna say. Um, but yeah, other than that, I'm definitely gonna go it because I got to do some meditation. You know what I'm saying? So appreciate this try as usual.
yeah.
I will see y'all when I see y'all.
All right.
Peace.
Peace.